This is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, is one of these little, cake testers here. You can just kind of poke right in, and if it's really hard to push through, then, it needs to cook a little bit longer.
Or you need to go to the gym.
Or you need to go, yeah.
All right, Chef Ray Garcia, Broken Spanish in downtown LA. Why does that name of your restaurant fit you guys so well?
Once you come into Broken Spanish, when you sit down and you feel the decor, the warmth, the familiarity, you taste the food. You can tell that there is Latin and Mexican roots to it, of my upbringing as a Mexican American here in the city.
So how do you start out here? So you've got the...
So we have these Okinawa sweet potato. Unlike other sweet potatoes, they have a nice floral note to them. And we poach it in water in piloncillo, a cane sugar. It has a nice, subtle sweetness to it, but we didn't want to reduce it down and make it too jammy.
And then, what do you do next with this dish?
We have some pig snout and pig ear. Pork is one of my favorite proteins. It has big flavors, but it's very versatile. There's meatiness to it. There's some collagen. There's some fat that when it plays with the sugar and the spices, like it will soon, it's just amazing.
So this is obviously not an ear straight off the pig, right?
No, so
you treated this a little bit first.
This has been cleaned, and then we cooked them both in a pressure cooker.
Am I gonna need to worry about snot?
The only thing you may have to do with some of the pigs, a little bit of grooming. You may see a few hairs there on the snout. You either take a razor, and shave it just like you would your face, or you can take a little torch and burn those hairs off.
When it comes to the flavor difference between the snout and the ear, there's a big flavor difference, or are they still pretty similar?
The biggest difference I think that people will note is texture. Mm-hmm. The snout, it's softer, it's more fatty. The ear is a little bit more chewy, has some bite to it. I think that the mixture of the two together are great. I go a little smaller with the ear than with the snout, because it is a little bit
Tougher
chewy.
chew.
So we're gonna add some of the ear into our pot. Then we're gonna let it kind of braise a little bit longer. It's cooked all the way through, but you just want to incorporate the flavors and let the two really play together for a minute.
And so is this something, when it comes to like the way you're preparing this, where do the influences meld on a dish like this?
I think the technique from using a pressure cooker to get the most extraction of flavor from the pig is coming through more classic kitchens, but using the trompa, using that that snout, using the sweet potato, having that spice, that's all more of my own personal, familiar kind of taste profile and background.
When you're cooking a sweet potato like that, is some of that flavor leaching out, and that's why you want to use some of that in there?
Yeah, you try to keep that connection,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously the sweet potato is not only taking in flavor, but it's giving out. It's best when there's just a smooth kind of conversation between the two, and wow, this is really great.
So who would say was your most influential person growing up, like when it came to you wanting to cook and learning to cook?
It was my grandmother. Most of my days were spent at her house. When I think of a kitchen, and what it should smell like or what it should sound like, it's her house. When I taste something, it's like, oh wow, that's familiar. That reminds me of Christmas or after school, or a certain age, or my younger brother liked this dish, and I did, and something like this is right up her alley, and I think myself and either one of my grandfathers would have loved to share a nice pot of this. So we're going to take the sweet potato out of the liquid. We're going to give it a little bit of a cut.
Like how I do my baked potatoes at
Kind of
home.
like you do a baked potato, exactly. And then you just kind of smash so that it opens
And that
up.
purple color is absolutely developed in there. It's
So
unbelievable.
you can see when it's locked in some of that purple, it's absorbed some of the syrup. And we'll take a little bit of salt and just put it in the center to season the cavity of that sweet potato. And now that's ready to go. I'm gonna taste. I could use a little bit more verjus.
And what exactly is the verjus?
It's the first press of white grapes, so
Okay.
it's sort of almost like a vinegar, but not as sharp.
Okay. With the sugar and then like the fattiness of pork, it's like it could really get heavy after a while, right? If you're not brightening it up.
Exactly. So the last sort of form of brightness is parsley and chive that kind of go back into it.
Like this isn't just a tiny garnish of parsley. This
No,
is really.
you want it. Now you want some of that herb and that flavor. We've got the sweet potato that's been primed. And just a nice hearty spoon. It doesn't need to stay inside of the potato itself. So it's very much a loaded baked potato here.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like, this is like when I'm at home and, you know, just throwing some chili on a baked potato for dinner one night.
So there it is, pig snout chili.
Yeah, exactly.
And there you go. There's our camote, broken Spanish.
Let's give this a try. You got to eat it too. I'm not.
Oh, I'm not shy. Don't worry about that.
All right, let me dig in here.
You want to try to get the potato and the meat, a little bit of the juice, a little bit of everything.
With the pigs here, you can definitely get a little bit of chew, and it adds like a great like contrast to the snout, which is much softer. It almost gets kind of creamy.
It does.
It's definitely got some heat too.
I think it starts with sweet, and then you're like, oh, where's the spice? And then all of a sudden, boom, it hits you. There it is.
The spice is catching up, but it's not too hot. It's not.
Let me get you. You want some water?
No, I'll be strong. I'll be strong.
Sure.
No, I'm good. Well, I'm just gonna keep pigging out.
Yeah, no, please.
Pun intended. Thank you, chef.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, the pig mask. This is,
Nightmare fuel.
I mean, I love it. This is the face, and we use the ears, of course, because ears are delicious. And then, where did my snout go?
There he
right
is.
here. See the little nostrils?
Don't pick his nose. It's rude.
I know, right? The tongue is right here. Hello.
That's the tongue.
That's the tongue. Inside are the cheeks over here.
Okay. And
then
that's like deliciousness,
deliciousness right there.